welcome back to A Traveling Knitter. This is episode or chapter, as I like to call it, 30. Yep, we have hit 30. And as you maybe can tell, I decorated for Christmas. I love decorating for holidays. Christmas is probably my favorite to decorate, to be honest, because all decorations are so cute. So I don't have my Christmas tree up yet, but I do have this awesome, let's show it to you, that guy over there. I bought it at a craft show for $30. Yeah, $30, and I have that awesome, oh, now you can't even see it anymore. I am recording on my phone again because I can't fix my camera. I do have to take it to a repair person. So maybe I should tell you who I am. My name is Stephanie. I have all of the social media stuff displaying at the beginning, but just in case, I am Lulu is Crazy in most places. Now, I am toying with the idea of opening an Instagram account for strictly a traveling knitter, as well as opening a Ravelry. I think I said I was gonna do it at 250, so maybe we'll hold off, but I do have something exciting. Well, exciting for me, maybe not for you, but exciting for the podcast. Yeah, so it is November 11th. It is 9:30 in the morning on a Sunday. I'm recording early because I have some people coming over later, and I will talk about that at the end. So, we do have a finished object. Now, it isn't blocked, but I did weave the ends in. And it is the Tokerau Shawl. So this is by Francoise Danoy, and this will maybe be the last time that I say it. The green is Woolfielf in her 80/20 in Chartreuse loose. The brown is KnitPicks Hawthorne fingering tonal hand paint in Newport. And let me pull it a bit out and you can see, there we go, there's the lace. So I just got to block it, which will make it significantly longer. So, I mean, there. So it'll be probably like that. It is pretty long. It is wider. Oh, it's basically my wingspan. So I will be wrapping up in this. Yep, it'll look a lot better once it's blocked. So as you probably know, I am so glad to have this off the needles and done with. Will I knit this again? No, I'm sorry. I didn't enjoy it that much. And I did end up running out of yarn, which is frustrating. So the band, like that band, you can see that this one is the widest. This should have been just as long. And then with the brown, I pretty much just knit until I ran out. This is a garter border with some picot. And you know, I actually didn't mind binding off the picot. And I think it's because I brought it to knit night and I bound it off at knit night, and then I was able to work a little bit more on something else. So there you have it. I will be blocking that tonight before I go to bed, which I know is weird to be thinking about since it is in the morning. Normally I'm not up this early on a weekend, but trying to turn a new leaf. So there you have it. And I used up pretty much, let me grab the leftovers just so you can see it. I have this much of the Chartreuse loose. I would say that's 2 grams. And then I have, what's happening here? It's coming out. This much of the KnitPicks, which I would say is 5 grams. I have a scale right over there and I could just weigh it, but I'm not going to. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Honestly, I feel like I'm gonna throw it away. And this might, maybe I'll use it for cuffs on some socks. We'll see. I don't like, what do you do with ends like this small? Do you guys just throw them away? I've mentioned this before, probably multiple times. I am not into scrappy blankets. I used to crochet amigurumi all the time, which is when I would use little scraps like this. So maybe that's what I'll do. I will make some feet. So there we go. Actually, combined together, those would be like, I don't know, some cute bear. And I knit that inside of this fringe supply bag. And I saw that the red one went on sale, and I put a little reminder to myself, and then I forgot, so I didn't get one. But maybe that's for the better. So the next category or section is current quests, and I made so much progress. I am like almost done, and that is my Asunder shawl by Lisa Mutch. So this is the top, and this is what I've been working on. So you see where the progress keeper is, right there, basically right where the first green stripe is, and then I knit all of that. Yes. So we are on this part, and again, when it blocks out, it's going to be beautiful. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drop stitch rows so far, and I have 1 more to go, and then I'll switch back to this gray color, which is Primrose Yarn Co. in the charcoal and glitter. So I will switch back to that for a little tiny bit, and then I will do another green drop stitch. And then I feel like, do I cast off with the charcoal and glitter? I can't remember. So, oh, and then the green is Madelinetosh Tosh Merino Light in the Juniper colorway. So I still have quite a lot left. I think last time I checked, I have 56 grams of this, and then I think I have maybe 50 grams of this. So I'm thinking, and for some reason, I am off my stitch count already, which I don't care for this. So I think I knit too much up here, because I should, like where I am right now, on the picture there's 7 rows of the drop stitches, but I have more stitches than I should, and I'm not, wait, on the picture there's 8. Not 7, there's 8, and I have more stitches when I was at 7, and I hadn't done the second increase row within the repeat, so I am gonna be 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm gonna have 12 stitches more than what the pattern says. So I know that's not gonna be like a big difference, but I'm thinking I should have enough to do the reverse. Right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Like I love this color. Love it so much. So I think I'm gonna do the reverse, and I think that will look so cool. So that is it so far. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Like this might be the shawl that I've been the most excited for this year. Probably because the colors. I love single ply. This is my first time working with Primrose Yarn Co. And I've been loving it. So now we can move the progress keeper. I am confident that I will be finished with this by the time I podcast next. Yes, I believe so. We've been on a roll. Finished objects in the last episode. So the last 2, we've had finished objects, and I'm pretty confident we'll have a third finished object. We might even have more, because Get that in there. I have Christmas knitting plans for on the horizon. So I've got a couple plans. Let's grab the yarn first. They're all hats that I'm planning to knit. And the first one, I'm actually going to grab on my iPad so that you can see a picture of it. But it is called Hamilknit by Emily Straw. And here is, it's like, there we go. Gotta turn it like such an angle. So it is, there we go. So it is this hat, and it has quotes from the musical Hamilton, which is my shirt. It says, I'm young, I'm just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, is what my shirt says. That is not what this hat says. It's got quotes like, basically it's the songs that are listed. So I am gonna knit that for my friend, and I'm going to use these two colors. I went stash diving, and personally, like, I had this like dusty mauve color that I would have preferred, but I feel like she wouldn't like that. So I went with blue and black for a nice contrast. These are KnitPicks palette. This is Caribbean, and this is black. So I will do these together. And I don't think it should use up an entire hat or skein. Now the top of the crown of the hat is a star, so I don't think I'm gonna put a pom-pom on it. Plus I feel like she isn't, maybe she's a pom-pom person. She's, I don't know. So she is gonna get that hat for Christmas. I can't wait to get started. I feel like I'm gonna make one for myself as well. Another hat that I have planned to make for Christmas is the traveling cable hat. And this is by Purl Soho. And the picture is a gray color. I'm going to use Impeccable in white. Is that what this color is? Does it have a name? It says Aaron on it, so maybe that's the color, or maybe that's the weight. I would have said this is worsted, but whatever. So this is what I'm gonna make that hat out of. I am gonna put a pom-pom on it, and that is also for a friend. And then the third thing is I wanna make a hat for myself, other than the Hamilknit hat. And I want to do like a red and black hat. I have this hat, which I need to weave the ends in, which I made for myself at the beginning of this year. And I like it. I haven't worn it yet. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna come out. And I've got like a, there. Yeah, so it's pretty snug. I should probably block it, and I wish I had been able to get the ribbing to be a bit longer. And take that off. I've got like a little clip, so. Yeah, so I've got this hat that I need to finish, and I need to add a pom-pom in, and I know it's black, so maybe I'll do color work with this. Not entirely sure, but I'm really feeling these two. They were on my floor, and I was like, you know, I wanna put these two together and make something. Maybe I'll do gloves. Maybe. It's acrylic, so maybe not gloves. So that is my third thing. I will have to look up some color work patterns. If you have some suggestions, let me know. I'm thinking not so much flowers, maybe like geometric shapes. We'll see. Or I'll even just come up with something on my own. Those are the three things that I currently have on the horizon planned, and since it's Christmas knitting, it's probably gonna get cast on. Maybe today, maybe Monday, we'll see. Nothing to add to Smaug's trove, Smaug's, I put myself on Do Not Disturb, yet you still get notifications. Nothing to add to Smaug's trope, which honestly is a good thing. Gotta get back on my budget. So no new ads to Smaug's trope. But I do have something for a novel idea, which is a bit different. And I know it's not going to appeal to everyone, but in case, I feel like I've mentioned this before when I talked about my vacation, but I am German. I do speak German and I do read German, and I love the series called Asterix and Obelix. Now, if you are familiar with them, you would probably know that this is actually a French comic, French characters. I grew up with Asterix and Obelix in German, and I have watched every every movie that is, I'm pretty sure I've watched every movie. They're on YouTube for free. There's several versions, and I've watched, yeah. And I also have a ton of the comics. I would say I might have 30 of them. I inherited them from my Opa, and I brought these because this is the same, but you can see the titles are different. They're both German, but this one is I asked my mom about it, but now I forget. But this is like, I don't know, it might be like old German. So Hiebe und Riebe, I don't know what that means. Der große Graben, I know what that means. So it's kind of interesting. So like if I read this one, I can understand part of it. It's almost like when you talk with a lisp. Not to like be, not, I don't want that to come off as rude, but so like, when you say the word I, you say ich, but this one says it as ish, which is funny because ish, or, well, I guess typically Americans say ick because you can't make the h sound. It's easy. It's just like a cat hissing. Ich, not ick, not ick. So I don't know, ish is kind of, I feel like maybe how Americans or non-German speakers would say ich. So yeah, it comes in different languages. It comes in French, pretty sure it comes in Spanish. I don't know if it comes in English, but if you're wanting to learn German or a language, I recommend just get kids books. So I'm 27 and I read kids books in German. I find it just easier to get through, not in like a bad way, but I go through phases where I don't read anything German, I don't listen to anything German, and then to get back in and just kind of not familiarize myself, but just to get back in a bit. I just find kids books so much easier to read. They don't use flowery language where you're just constantly having to look up words. So I recommend it. I recommend Asterix and Obelix because, well, one, to me, they're like my childhood, and they're easy to read. So this one is the latest one that I got. I got it for Christmas last year, and it's about, okay, so Asterix is this little guy, Obelix is this guy, and then Idefix is the dog. I kind of want a dog and I want to name it Idefix, but I feel like my friends would have a hard time pronouncing it. But I kind of do want like a little poodle to name Idefix. So yeah, they are doing this big chariot race, and kind of the beginning of the story is everyone's complaining about the roads and how they're full of potholes, which is kind of funny because this is set in the Roman era, and I feel like potholes are a common 21st century problem as well. So it is kind of funny, and there are jokes in it, and yeah, so if you've never heard of Asterix and Obelix, they are like the last stand against the Romans. They have a little village. Oh, okay. So normally there is a map at the beginning of every book. There we go. This one's got it. So here it is. So you've got, smells like old. So this is like, here's the Romans taking over, and then there's the little tiny, it's called a Dorf, little tiny town that is still standing against all the Romans. So you always have like their encampments around it, and they gain their powers because you have, it's like they call him a druid or druide. And what is his name? Miraculix. His name is Miraculix, which, miracle. He created a magic drink, and when you drink it, you become really strong, and that's kind of how they're able, well, how Asterix is able to always defeat the Romans. Obelix fell into the magic drink when he was little, so he's just naturally strong. He doesn't actually get to have any of the magic potion. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Like I said, you can find the movies on YouTube. Just search Asterix und Obelix. Und is U-N-D in German if you wanted to watch them in German. Yeah, so I know that probably doesn't appeal to the vast majority of the people who watch this podcast, but just a little tip, if you like to learn a new language, my recommendation is listen to an audiobook, which is kind of hard to find when you're not in that native country, or watch movies or TV shows that you can find on YouTube for free. I would actually recommend not putting English subtitles. I don't put in English just because you'll end up just reading it and you will kind of tune out the language. I found that when I took Spanish in high school, we would watch some Spanish movies and they would put English subtitles, and after I was done, I would realize I hadn't listened at all and comprehended at all what was being said. It was just kind of like Charlie Brown adult voices. So I mean, if you want to put it on there, but that's just me personally. I find that the subtitles detract from actually learning and listening to the language. So yeah, that was a novel idea. The last segment of the podcast is Life as I See It. And I'm just gonna pull my notes up so that I don't forget. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about, side note, what is this about? It's about my life. So if you don't care, bye. It's not that long, and it's not, I try to keep my podcasts shorter nowadays. So I ran a 5K yesterday. I feel like I'm always telling you I'm running a 5K. I don't honestly run that many, but I guess since I podcast every 2 weeks, I tend to run one maybe once a month. Kind of just depends. So I ran one this weekend. It was like the coldest it's been. It was 25 degrees. It's below freezing. Where I was gonna be like, where's my phone? It's right there because I'm recording on it. Let's see, because I don't know if I have what is 25 degrees in Celsius? Because I watch a lot of people that are outside of the US, and you guys are always so kind in translating what your Celsius is, because like I get when you say it's 30 degrees that's hot, but if you just say 30 degrees in the US, that is below freezing. So okay, so 25 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius, that was -3.8. So I guess -4, closer. So -4, I was running outside. Oh, it was cold. I have these like pants. They are designed for running in below freezing weather, which I am such a wuss. I hate the cold, so I wear them. Probably if it's like 50 degrees or lower, I wear them. But they're fleece lined. They have these like dots on them that to tell they like turn blue if it's below freezing. But I'll be honest, never actually noticed them turning blue. And I've worn them below freezing more than once. So I did that, and then I had 2 long sleeve shirts plus a sweater. And then I had a headband and a hat. Which actually, let me bring the headband over. Oh, when I sit on my feet funny, they like cramp. So this is the headband, and this is actually a design that I came up with myself. And this design is on Ravelry for free. No one's ever made it. That's okay. And I want to redo it because, so this is, it's a ton of cables. If I hold it up, you can see, we'll start here. This cable just continues up this way. This cable goes this way. So it does not stretch. Then this side does stretch. So the ribbing causes it to flare out. What I need to do is redo this pattern, make this not so stiff. And this is Caron Simply Soft, which doesn't stretch anyway. And I'm pretty proud because I came up with this at college. I did a tubular bind off so you can't see the edge. Now I did not know how to do a cast on that was the same, so the cast on edge isn't as pretty, but I think I'm gonna redo it. So if anyone wants to try it out for me, that would be really cool because like I said, no one's actually ever made it. The very first one I made, I put up and I kind of put like caveat, I have a small head, so you may want to get this, like I didn't put a gauge or anything on it. So I think I'm going to redo it, make it better, but I do have a small head. Like I measured it in college and my head was about the size of an average 3-year-old. So the circumference is like pretty small. So if so like that, I can almost circle my head with just my hands. Yeah, so you know, if you go like go-karting and you wear a helmet, I will wear the kids' helmets because the adult ones are too big and they flop around and I could stick like both of my hands into my helmet. Yay for small heads. So yeah, this is, I think it's called a basket weave. I think that's what I named it on Ravelry, but I'll keep the name. So yep, I've got this. I'll just put it on. Again, I've got a clip right here. So yeah, this is what it looks like. See, for me, it fits fine, but I feel like for the average person's head, this would be too tight on their head. And something I'm pretty proud of is it's knit in the round, but there's no seam, right? Like I know where the seam is. It's right here because I can tell the ribbing. I can see the ribbing, like it dips down right there. So I can tell where the seam is, but you can't tell with the basket weave portion. And what you do is you just have to shift the start of your round. You just have to move it, and it's not that hard to do. Now, this is a bit of a tedious knit because you are cabling I want to say you cabled every 2 rounds or every 4 rounds, and then you cable every single one. So, but I think the look of it is really cool. So I'll make that again and make it a little bit bigger, and maybe I'll do different sizes. We'll see. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, so I have, in half an hour, I have people coming over for my book club. So I've got 2 book clubs that I kind of host, and one of them is with my coworkers, and I'm actually kind of thirsty, so take a sip. So one of my book clubs is with my coworkers, and I'm hosting, and we're going to play Boggle, because the book that we read is A Darker Shade of Magic, and there really isn't a movie that I can like match with it. So I figured we would play Boggle, which, if you've never played, is it's a dice game, but the dice have letters, and you shake them, stick them on the table, and then there is a timer, and everyone has to come up with words of the letters that are on the board, and they all have to connect. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have bagels, a cinnamon sugar bread that I found at Costco. I also got all the bagels at Costco, and a giant tub of cream cheese. And one of the people is bringing some fruit tarts, like fruit tart cookies. And then we're gonna have mimosas and potential coffee if anyone wants any, and then I also have tea. So yeah, we're gonna come over, discuss the book, that sort of thing. And then my other friend is coming over from Columbus, and we're gonna watch the new Nutcracker movie. So I have a forever crush on Keira Knightley. I love her so much. I watch anything she does. I would love to see her like live, because I know she does plays. I would love to do that. I would love that. I have loved her since the day I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, which was Christmas time in my, at the time, best friend's basement. And it was like the start of a deep obsession. Major obsession. To this day, there's just something about that franchise. Not so much now, but I have the music. I listen to it a lot of times I listen to it when I'm flying. I will sing along to the soundtrack. It's just orchestral music, and I will sing along to it. I love it. So anyway, Keira Knightley's in it, which is a major reason why I want to see it, because I want to support her in everything she does, because she is beautiful, amazing, smart, funny, and strong, and I love her. So I want to meet her so bad. Yeah, so she's in that. I'm so excited to go watch it. I've probably mentioned in every single episode, I am a huge Disney fan, so Disney redid the Nutcracker in an interesting woman kicks butt, doesn't need a man. I'm gonna go watch that. So we're gonna see that, and then a couple other movies we're gonna go see are Bohemian Rhapsody, so I'm gonna watch that with my friend at the end of this month. I'm gonna go see the new Fantastic Beasts on Tuesday. My friend purchased tickets for an early showing, and you get pins. Yeah! So I hope I get a Niffler pin. I hope so. It's either a Niffler pin or a Bowtruckle pin. I want the Niffler, but the Bowtruckle's cute too. So I'm gonna go watch that movie, and then Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'm gonna go watch that movie. I think we're gonna watch it maybe the second week of December. So yeah, I've got a lot of movies lined up to watch, and I am excited for it. Yeah. What else? Oh, book challenge, book readathon, whatever. I won. I was exhausted. I slept like nothing. And I won, and even then I only won by a couple hundred pages. yeah, I think that's pretty much all I want to talk about. I decorated for Christmas, as I mentioned earlier. I put lights up. Now, they're not Christmas lights, but they're supposed to be flowers, but they look like hot air balloons. And I've asked several people. I've asked actually both of my brothers if they thought they looked like hot air balloons, and they said yes. So I left them out. They look like hot air balloons. I put them all up last night. So I found out that you can't attach an extension cord in between two sets of string lights. So I had to run the lights on the ground, but I'm thinking I hope no one's gonna step on them. Hopefully not. So yeah, that's it for this episode. I will turn you off because I need to real quick clean up and attempt to get this on my computer. My computer is a piece of crap. It does not like to read that my phone is plugged in, and I've tried so many different cords. It just doesn't like it. So hopefully it doesn't take 6 days of me trying to get this to upload like it did last time. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. Put any questions in the comments or message me on Ravelry or Instagram, or those are basically the two. And I will see you guys later.